and he'll have some words for Crimsix. Forcing the issue on Mikey's inside of the face, and that's going to be 5 in a row. How about
There's 2, there's 3.
Hello, everybody. We continue on. Hello. How we doing? It is only day 1, day 2. Sorry, we've got so much ahead of us. It's the first major of many this year, and coming up, we got the Boston Beauties. I call them that only because the Italian sensation that is Methods. On the other side of it, the Florida Mutineers, but it is time to meet our squads. Let's keep it rolling. First off, let's check out the Boston Breach. Capsule, Methods, TJ, and Nero.
I was distracted by Maven's amazing haircut, but the simple fact remains that I like Boston, and I'm not even afraid to hide it.
Listen, man, Chef Tony up there, Zinni. Methods coming off of a bad performance yesterday with a .76. I'm expecting him to turn up today and make the city of Boston proud. This team came in last to the CDL. I'm expecting them to turn up, man. They don't want to go home empty-handed.
And personally, I want to see TJ Haley pop off as well, but Maven, who else you got for us?
We got to keep it going. It is a loser's bracket match. Loser is done. It is do or die time. Breach their opponents. It is the Florida Mutineers. Vivid, Skies, Dave Patty, and Awakening. Let's get it, Big Wake.
And at times, we've seen this team have pop-off performances separately, individually, and Allie, hopefully they can bring it all together today.
Man, you saw those signs in the crowd. A lot of love for this roster, but Dave, man, he was all business. He was like, screw this, man. Let's get to our station. Let's get locked and loaded, ready to go.
Maven, I'm ready for this game, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing going.
I'm ready. I'm ready. So I'm not going to mess it up this time. It is Chance and Miles. Take it away.
You did it! He's done it, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to roll now into our next matchup. It's going to be a fun one indeed, Chance. Again, lower bracket, we're sending teams home today, and that's tough for some, but for others, they enjoy that violence. They enjoy sending teams out here. A lot of villains in that crowd, but we love you very much. This is going to be fun, man. I'm excited to see this go down. A lot of rookies on the stage.
A ton of rookies on the stage, and I think we talk about like the land vibes, right? Some of the rookies have been struggling. I think even on Seattle, right? Sib didn't have that bounce back. Pred's killing himself with nades. So some of these guys feeling the pressure. We have a ton of rookies now on both sides of the stage, and even not just like the rookies, right? For guys like Methods in TJ, some of the vets. I mean, Methods hasn't played on land in like 3 years, so it'd be interesting to see if these guys can handle the pressure while facing elimination. But taking a look at your maps and modes, we have seen these teams on these maps quite a bit. Florida love themselves Bocage, and well, we get it for the first 2.
A double dose of Bocage to start things off. 2 Tuskens and a Desert Siege, and that sounds like a recipe for fun to me. That's going to be our entire series here. Going to lower bracket matchup. Lose 3, go home. That is that. Chance, what do you make of the maps?
Well, nothing too crazy, right? Obviously, again, the Bocage, Florida's happy to play on it. The Desert Siege, Florida 0-1, dropped a .31 KD, so they got slaughtered the one time they played. But Boston, we haven't seen them there at all. And of course, that Tusken control, it got mentioned on the desk. It was part of the keys to victory when you're talking about Boston. They have been getting destroyed, absolutely destroyed in control. But most of that's been on Gavutu. Tusken, we haven't seen him as much. Maybe there will be potential for them in that game 3, but obviously we have a long way to go before we get there. We start in the cage. Both of these teams have that experience. I think yesterday we saw Boston against Atlanta. They got heavily outslayed, but they still kept up in the stat line. Maybe they can just pick up the slang a little bit. They'll be good to go.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Hold on to your personal belongings. We're going to the cage to start this one off. Whoa, baby. This is going to get the blood pumping right off the rip. How are you enjoying the show so far, crowd? I can smell that popcorn. I'm seeing the drinks flowing as somebody just walked in with a pizza. And let me tell you, hungry, hungry hippos up here on the stage. For the cage, it is going to be an exciting start indeed. Here we go. Boston Breach, Florida Mutineers. Let's get it.
And I think about setting that pace on this map, right? We already know Vivid is going to be running the show. Just the engagement lord on this map. And well, there's the first blood. Effectively, he's able to take it down, and that is the man that I think Boston are going to have to try their damnedest to keep up with. But of course, it is back and forth as always on P1, looking for some of that distance, a little bit of that separation. And honestly, it's Boston, at least for that early time, trying to get a few points inside.
We'll take it. Not a lot of early time goes the way of many teams here on the cage, but so far so good. TJ trying to find a few more. Again, eyes towards P2. That's the name of the game here, friends. 20 seconds remaining on first. Nero, sneaky, catches at least one out there. Rotation still looking good. Actually now cleaned up, so this might be huge for Mutineers. We'll see if they can capitalize on those kills. No, TJ last man up in the point. Dave Paddy now. Definitely, oh dear, I don't think he finished the Sorcerer's or Philosopher's Stone chance after a kill like that.
Well, I mean, maybe he'll be working up to the Chamber of Secrets as we progress through this series, but either way, that rotation over towards P2. Boston doesn't necessarily have the spawns, but they should at least have a bit of that map control, right? Players inside a barn. Dave Paddy is alive, but he should get spotted and taken care of. You see him fall in the feet. Boston get that clearance. Now try to run up the score just a little bit, but obviously, they're dealing with those back spawns. Florida should be quick to bounce back.
Nope, trying to flay their way through. This Capsule. He was the absolute king of the stage when it came to Kickoff Classic, won a lot of hearts and minds, but for now, slow and steady inside of Barn. 32 seconds remaining here on the inside of P2. Tanks Zero from the top row, where he goes. Ooh, the hip fire there, but Demon Joe is going to take care of him. Awakening finally brought down. Dave Paddy up next. Here comes the hit from behind. Will it be enough to get any more out of this one? The next 20 seconds of Tanks looks to be a little bit dry on the contest. Over towards P3, that will be going in just a moment. Neither team to set up for this one, but chance for Mutineers, they get up spawns.
Still no degree of separation though, right? Because you still have about 8 seconds to get across the map. So yes, you have Florida in the back first, but look at the actual hard point, right? Boston firmly inside. Vivid though, he is fiending for a gunfight, able to clean up. TJ looking for the next, gets the corner right, but still gets traded out. And this is sort of an interesting spot, right? You can have these back spawns, but that's not always ideal. If they get a 2 or 3 down and keep spawning in the back, well, Boston might be able to set up a spawn trap.
Let's see how it goes. Here come the Mutineers, trying to make their way through the back. It's a couple of kills going the way of Boston Breach. Awakening slow and steady on the push, and Nero's going to punish him for it. Dave Paddy, the only player now for his team to maybe get anything out of this one. It's Big Zin, though, going to cut him down. Time still ticking in favor. Oh, for a brief moment there of the Boston Breach. Mutineers now with a slight lead change. Capsule, next entry onto the hard point. Time's ticking away now. Boston Breach, as back and forth we go. There's not a tremendous amount of action on either side as they're still trying to get things going here early on in the cage. Final 15 chance on Grannies, and Florida Mutineers once again, nice spawn.
And this is the man you're trying to look to get warm, right? If Capsule can get the ball rolling, he could try to take a couple players down, but it's Dave Paddy in the feed with the automaton that's able to pick up 2, and I think we have seen a bunch of teams make that adaptation, right? Atlanta FaZe, very early on in the season, running that 2AR setup, and well, looks like a couple of these teams are learning the power of the auto, because Awakening, he's rocking it as well.
A dangerous assault rifle player. We saw him really shine in Modern Warfare way back when with the MP5 in this game. A little different look. TJ trying to make his way through the back. Not able to get much done so far, and it's Big Vivid. He's finding all the kills. Here comes TJ though, top bar, and gets himself a pair. That's gonna be a nice break for now. Stun check, lands it. Here come the rest of the team though. Close spawns now for Boston, flying on in. Will they be able to find much here? A little bit of trepidation chance on the outside there. No one really committing to the fight.
Couldn't tell you what that word means. Don't have my dictionary nearby, but at the very least, you see the bounce back inside the hard point, right? Even when TJ is getting a couple of these opening kills, there's always that very quick response by Florida. Even if they're rocking a 2AR setup, they got a guy like Vivid on their team. They will absolutely be pushing the pace, but nothing too crazy so far. Again, fairly close game as we expect on this map. And that rotation, I mean, number 5 on the mini-map, Vivid, he is trying to find that opening. He just went past number 4. If he can find this kill in the back and flip the spawns, this could be Florida potentially running away with this game.
Well, Vivid, you are completely surrounded. Unfortunately, not going to be that much more out of that one. Dave Paddy's spree comes to an end. He sat on 5, I think, before that went down. 10 and 8 overall for him. No streaks. See if you can find any more. Whip up something special. Conjure up some magic. But no, it's Boston in the kill feed. And now, starting to pick up the time. Looking to take this one back. But Vivid, the man of the moment, Mr. Hot on the heels of the hard point. He goes, trying to push those players out. Guys, gets 3 in the feed. And here we go. Vivid now trying to hit the back lines. That should be a decent bit of time now for the Mutineers.
And they got the complete setup as well. So this is a 30-point lead. That is a lot on this map. And when is the last time Boston actually managed to get a kill? They are trapped in the back. Vivid is there trying to chop it down. There's number 2, the most accurate player in the league for good reason.
4 HP, 4 spree right now. And ooh, here we go, Vivid. Putting on a show for us here. There's another in Nero. That's going to be the 5th. And he's out, baby. He's gone. Nice kills all around. Mutineers starting to walk away with this one here. Back over towards the first set of hard points we go. Now the second set. Back to the middle of the gate. And man, it's just been all Mutineers chance for the last two.
Oh yeah, can Boston get a trade, please, on River like they had the early spawns? They're getting picked apart. Now Vivid going to be thinking about some kill streaks. One away from the glide bomb. And again, frankly, it looks like he's going to be poised to get it unless he gets shot in the back, but his teammates got the call out. He gets the hunt down methods for the free kill. Glide bomb secure, Hill secure in Florida. Again, it might not seem like it, but this is a very strong lead.
Yep, they're holding it down for now. Dave Patty with time. Methods will finally get a little bit of retribution there on the Vivid. That's going to be the kill, ends the spree, but streaks acquired, damage done. Big Cat now. The king of the barn, locking that one down. It's 4 clean kills now for the Boston Breach team. Mutineers chance though with still a sweet lead. Let's go for a quick listen in with the Florida Mutineers.
Nice, he did that ult. I need a load. Yo, mid narrow. Last guy.
The River's in, he's too weak. He's weak as fuck.
Get on you, Tom.
He's weak as fuck.
Get on you, Tom. I'm looking over you.
Hey. I'm gonna get your barn.
Go back, T4. Yeah, TJ. Three in the back.
Roll down.
Hold weak. Top bar. Top bar weak. P1.
I'm in the barn.
In the cabin. I think he's pitching in.
Lay down here. Watch my double.
Yeah, obviously there.
I'm outside across.
He just didn't want top bar. AS&E low out. He jumped down. Low out.
Double door weak.
They're me wine. Killing. Wine is dead. Watch out.
Zero here. Watch out. Absolute zero. Flat. Absolute. AC absolute. He's in there in the corner.
They're bumping time. One's code hit river. I need him on ult. Pulling low range. Taking the river out.
I have my friend.
I have a dive with him, I guess.
Go top right.
T1, one shot. T1. Low T1.
Yeah, you should be holding it. I have your mid. Go. No, one is wine right now.
Can you get new time and I'll just hold back right.
The lead only seems to get bigger and the comms just as good right now. Skies 22 and 18 overall. Bottom grannies, they've handed over the keys. The deed is now yours. Florida Mutineers with a point.
And some respectable small talk as well as they're crossing it, but now they actually get set up inside the hill, right? Last time they focused on those spawns, didn't actually get that pressure, but now the pressure certainly in. Number 4, Nero, think about the flank, dead. Sky's there to take him down. He can play like an AR even when he's got the MP40 in Boston. Oh, so far away. Zinni finally starting to find a couple kills. He's able to pick up 2, and his teammates able to break inside the point, but for how long is the question?
Gets himself a couple of sweet kills now, trying to find Dave Patty, and it's a nice 3 from Zinni. Methods locking this one down. Vivid on the outside. Can he go toe-to-toe? Oh, no! He needs more bullets. Chef Tony back in the action. He goes. Oh, with the good crossfire. This is nice out of the breach. Dave Patty, though. There was a rat in the kitchen, and that's a big kill out of Cap, trying to keep this one down. Boston Breach signs a life chance, but is it too little, too late?
I mean, again, this is a pretty sizable lead, right? I think the most we saw was about a 70-point margin. Florida let it slip for a moment, but they just bring it right back. And I mean, they can honestly just play 50-50. They can fight so hard on this hill, by the way, because they have that glide for the rotation. So, I mean, they can just force it here on Barn. And I mean, they've got a little bit of clearance. You already got what? Number 5, Vivid. He's watching the mid cross. Number 7, he's got outer. This is the setup that they want. Now you just got to play for the kills.
We go. Nero over the top. Skies managed to get at least one before being brought down. Crossfire down. Dave Patty reaches for the sidearm. Can't get the 5th kill in a row. Over to Chef Tony now. 25 remaining here on Barn. Contest all around the place. Big Wake somehow, some way, finds a few more. Bottom Barn covered. Here come the nades.
And keep in mind for Boston right there, they end up flipping those spawns, and that is not what you want to have happen. Yes, you need to force to actually get that hill time, but this should set up Florida just to have that free and easy rotation. They still have that glide bomb if they want to invest it, but I mean, just looking at that stat line, right? We're talking about the rookies feeling a little bit of that pressure, and I see Nero 19 and 32. He's taking a lot of gunfights, not winning a lot of them.
1932, what a year that was. Here comes the glide for Vivid. Looking to find the 2, but there's a lot of cover now for these players of Breach. Not a lot to be had. That's going to be enough, though. Keeping the Mutineers in control of River. They've got to stay down low. Information passed out, and baby, do they make the most of that one. That's huge out of the Mutineers. 40 seconds remaining. Will not be getting the win here, but once again, chance that we get damn close.
And you already see, right? It is just ARs all over the place. Even Vivid has one just for these long-range engagements. So you're taking him down. You let the gunfight come to you. And honestly, even that fall right there doesn't make a single bit of difference. Methods, I mean, his team isn't around him anymore. Everyone has fallen. I mean, this is an absolute blowout, basically from start to finish. Florida, I mean, just a clean and easy game. It has been 3-0s all day today. Some of these teams, I mean, just getting picked apart when the elimination is on the line. And I know it's very early in the series, but at least Florida right now, they came to play.
Well, they have certainly come to play. He's won over yet, though. 33-27 there from Vivid, a man who put up incredible numbers and won a sweet chunk of cash online. Hard point now for the time of Boston Breach. He's trying to find a few more. Big Cap getting the work done there on the outside of Granny's. Back over to the hard point we go. Awakening will be his next opponent. Doesn't land much on the stun. And Big Wake finds it again. 2 Titans here of the field. 40 seconds still remaining here on gate chance, and at this moment in time, it is a very good look for the Florida Mutineers. We have seen crazy comebacks on Bocage. It is no easy feat.
I mean, a crazy comeback, though, is what, making up from like 50 or 60 points. This is just, I mean, ludicrous. So far away would be an absolute game changer, and especially when you're getting outslaved on maybe 20, 25 kills. Cat's trying to bring it back just a little bit. Method's able to pick up 2, and you at least got the correct spawns for that rotation. Nice little map spread, but I mean, every single player at this point for Boston is going to have to go bonkers. Maybe the triple B will be enough, but see if they can pull it off.
Well, he's got a big kill ahead of him, and it's Methods in first on the hard point. 10 seconds for the win now for Florida, and that may be it. Nero's up next. Got to hold the tides now. The incoming approach from the Mutineers, and they're getting the job done. Big kills out of Dave Patty. Towards the hard point we go once again, and oh, Methods managing to get the kill on him. And that's it. Mutineers are in the hill. No one from Breach nearby. Nero with a last-minute contest. You kill him, you get the map. And they do just that. The Mutineers take map 1.
And you take a map like Bocage in a fashion like that. I mean, that map, pure gunny, right? So if you're winning in a dominant fashion, you see a guy on the other side of the stage that's going double negative. I mean, honestly, you're just going to feel like you are better when it comes to the gun skills. So Florida, that is the way they wanted to start this series. Dominant win for map number 1, and I mean, now it's just about that continuation because, well, from map number 2, we go right back to the cage.
And it's one question we had, for Boston Breach when it started off, 3-0 against Atlanta FaZe. Kind of tight, really exciting series. How do we rate Boston on land so far? That's the biggest question. Now coming back into this one, I think it's like, all right, well, definitely Bocage. Hardpoint is not their game mode. That is not the map mode you want to see them pairing up on. But there's a quick look at the stats across the board. 30 for 30 there for Capsule. No one really going big for Boston Breach. No big kills, no nothing special there. But everyone there on the Mutineers looking great.
And even Skies especially, right? I mean, minute 42 inside the hill, top damage in the lobbies, top kills. Like, you could not ask for anything more. And it's funny because I think at the start of the year for Florida, we're thinking about all the ARs they have on this team. And you're like, this is not the map for them. Turns out not the case. Crack from top to bottom. They absolutely provide. They rock the 2 AR setup. But I mean, again, you're just outslaying by 20, 25 kills. That is as comfortable as it gets.
The non-traded kills across the board as well, very, very even. We have highlights there from that first one. A lot of fun kills, sweet name, so a little bit of everything there as we do on the cage. But that's map number 1 now in the books. Chance, as far as the search goes, we were going to have a look at that in a minute. We are going to stay on Bocage, so ladies and gentlemen, do not take your shoes off. We're remaining here. How do you feel about the search and destroy for both teams?
Very tough to call, right? I mean, again, fairly balanced between these 2 teams, but that was the expectation even going into the Bocage hardpoint. Seemingly not the case. Florida just turned up a little bit more. Certainly the nerves are not going to be there. Maybe one sign of life, though, for Boston. TJ absolutely put in some serious work. Map number 1 just didn't have a ton of help behind him. And I think even when he's sniping in the S&D, it can be good, but you want to see him be the playmaker. So if he had a bit of a hot hand in map number 1, if he can carry that into the next game that we have, maybe he will be the go-to guy for Boston to try to open up some of these rounds.
And we go back to the idea of, rookies here in this matchup. And again, there's a lot of players in this stage that comes outside of what Skies, at times Vivid, Methods, and TJ. Not everyone's got a lot of experience when it comes to the big stage and these LAN events. And that was the biggest question for a lot of these teams, a lot of players coming into this. Who's going to deliver on LAN? Is it going to be like we saw at kickoff, where the rookies ran the show there? It doesn't seem to be the case here at the Major. A little bit of time in the game, a little bit of time practicing, and the old guys, they still got it.
Some of the old guys.
Some of the old guys.
It depends on what team you're talking
don't.
about, but it is interesting to see. And again, I think we're just looking for a little bit of that resolve, a little bit of that bounce back potential as well. But I mean, again, not a team that shies away from search and destroy, really, either of these guys. Fairly balanced across the board. Boston is solid in every game mode with the exception of control. So it's not like they're necessarily uncomfortable when it comes to search and destroy, but a little bit uncomfortable on the stage.
Well, we'll find out. Again, is that search and destroy is moments away. We're going to stay on Bocage for that one. Tuscan control after that. So what you're saying, Chance, this is a must win right now for Boston, because if we do get to that control and they're 2-0 down, That's not good.
Well, I mean, the one thing about, like, they have terrible, like, KDs, but they play a ton of Gavutu for the control, and I was thinking maybe Tuscan more of an SMG-sided map, because I think Cap is like a 0.82 in control. I think Nero is like a 0.83, so it hasn't been great. So in my mind, I'm like, Tuscan going to be better for him. Well, map number 1, not the case, right? You just dropped a 0.5 on Bocage. I mean, that is, it's just tough. I can only say it so many times.
Yeah, look at the team there again. It's serious looks across the board for the team. They're going to be finding a brief moment of respite here now to go over S&D strats, talk that one through. And as far as the stats go, Chance, I mean, it's been tough. It's been tough for the Boston Breach. They came out of kickoff great. The qualifiers were not ideal for them. The last 3 weeks of gameplay, it's been hit and miss. You know, it's been exciting to watch them, but we haven't quite seen any strokes of true greatness. S&D top performers, though, from this season already, Chance. And Cap, he's the guy doing the numbers.
Now, S&D has been absolutely godlike for him, running the show, pushing the pace, but this team also 0-1 on Bocage. So we haven't seen a great look from him, and at least the team KD on this map was a 0.77. So maybe Caps was the one that gave me half popped off, but certainly as a team, they did not. Skies on the flip side, of course. I mean, S&D prowess. He was one of the grinders back in the Jetpack games. I think Black Ops 3 was the first time I heard his name, and certainly a freak in nature on the sticks. We'll see if he can continue the destruction he had from map number 1 and carry that into the Surge. When we mentioned Boston's record of 0-1, well, it's the exact same for Florida, 0-1. But the difference is they played it a lot tighter. I mean, their team KD on this map was like a 1.03. They were at least taking rounds, struggling to actually get the win in those final moments, but at least on paper, it's very sparse, but a slight edge to Florida.
Florida Mutineers across the season, very, very mixed results when it comes to the KDs. If you were with us for the LA Thieves in New York Subliner Series just before this one, you know that Bocage Search and Destroy, it is a fun one. It is a little crazy. Again, looking at the Boston Breach ranks there as well in the KD department. Interesting indeed. Here we go. Map number 2, up first. It's going to be the Florida Mutineers trying to attack.
Florida is not going to be a team that shies away from some of these creative strats. I think Capital Top might have a free kill, and well, it looks like Nero finds one as well. So, I mean, that is just tried and true, easy reads. You go up top, Grandmas, look at that window, and apparently sometimes it'll fall into your lap. Awakening turning this into a 2 versus 3, but he's trapped in the bottom tunnel, and he does get taken down. Nero there for the trade. Skies all by his lonesome.
1v3. Nero on the cage. You never know. Tags in a Nero, Skies is out. This is going to be very difficult. Has to isolate these 1v1 fights. Positions given away. Not a lot of bullets left there in the Automaton magazine. This could go a bit squirrely. Oh, Methods. He didn't get spotted. Bomb down on A. We're in. And that's going to be it, surely. There we go. There's always a chance. There's always a moment. Great stuff out of Methods there on the late flank to catch him. That 1v3 comes to a close.
Methods unintentionally camouflaged behind those, I do believe. But now very tough to spot. Maybe that could have been an opening, but I mean, realistically, that just comes down to the opening break, right? You're giving Capsule just free kills, trying to run underneath, hope the timing goes your way. Well, MP40 up top there to get the job done. And obviously, Nero, nice little bounce back, picked up 2 kills that round as well.
Beat the bounce back, indeed. Reach up by 1. Here we go. They're on offense. 2 for Nero, 2 for Cap. Exchange now goes out. Empty pockets. Awakening's first blood comes through. Demon Joe can do it all. Gets it done with the MP40.
That's an aggressive way to get that first blood as well, just peeking up through that window, because that is a lot of players to deal with. Methods goes to the tank, dies on the tank, and now TJ forced to make a play. Finds one bottom. Grandma's gets tagged up everywhere in a 1v3, and he just hands it away. A demonic rounder. Not really demonic, just clean and easy on defense.
Very simple and patient, you know, like no one on the Mutineers did anything crazy. They sat back, Dave padding the back. Awakening's here, lined up, and does his very best vision impersonation as he phases through that door. But hey, man, they did that round fine. Get rid of that table so Dave Paddy can get closer to the monitor. That would be ideal. He does look comfortable, though, I will say. Sure?
Sure. Got nothing there. I will say again, just, you know, get Sons and Eights going out a little bit. Try to secure that round, but get that first blood, win the round has been the name of the first 2 rounds. Awakening again, very aggressive, straight into bomb site, but Capsule made the adjustment up top last time, now over towards A. Boston able to get that first blood, and even more importantly, bomb is down.
And look at that line they've set across the map. All the angles now covered for the entries into Grand Mars. Nero and the old hops here, looking through that kitchen door. Bombs covered now from Capsule. Oh, but we lose Methods.
He was just a little bit taller. It would be so much easier for him. Maybe next year.
Capsule sees at least one. Out he goes, making a lot of noise. Is it enough to stay alive? Oh! Okie dokie! The Boston breach line defense seems to hold out, and the Mutineers run into it, and they get gunned.
You are able to get an AR posted on that back tank, get a couple of those doors open, they can make a play. But even what we saw the previous round with Methods, if you just get spotted along the way, well, now you're sort of just dead, and it seemed to be the case there. I saw Florida 2 players trying to wrap around over towards that tank and effectively just trap that Sembles in. Big plays from Cap, though, right? Again, just consistent, at least on defense for those first bloods. Him and Nero stepped it up from the game number 1 so far.
Aggressive round now out of Boston Breach. They're already in. Live it up to the name. Nero's going to get the first blood, and caps it all. He's going for a rout. He gets Dave Paddy. Quick plant now from Nero. This is a decisive round out. The Mutineers on defense. They've got nothing here. This is great from Breach. Massive. Awakening, last player up. What a round from Boston this has been.
Nero takes those. He will have those kills every day of the week. Awakening, no time to work with. And a nade there to give him that early demise. I'm kind of curious as to what the comm sounded like there from Florida, because I'm pretty sure Vivid actually spotted Capsule down low in the tunnel, and I thought he was going to be pinched in, but I mean, Capsule just absolutely obliterates Dave Paddy, so maybe just catches him off guard. Maybe Dave should have been a little bit quicker, yelled at a little bit louder, but whatever the case may be, that is a wonderful play from Cap, right? Even when you're getting spotted, you are shredding like that. Those confidence gunfights. Now Boston, nice little lead. You go back on defense. They've been on point with those first bloods. And mixing up the strat just a little bit once again.
Headbutt right through mid. TJ sees 2 right in the middle of the field. Vivid can't get it. Trades, though, come through. Nero, he gets brought down. And once again, the trades on trades on trades. Dave Paddy gets to get on the board. Let's give me his opportunity to do it. Does get the big kill on a Capsule. Now 1v2. Methods finds his first in this round. Dave Paddy with that bomb. They've made it over to A.
A clutch here would just be a dagger for Florida in this round. Bomb's going to get planted. Methods should know that they are going to be using that buddy system at least for the bomb plant.
Oh, he didn't see. Oh, finds one. 1v1. And Florida. Skies with the big brain plays to remain top barn. And there was a moment there, chance where Mizini could have been gifted something special, but great positioning there out of the Mutineers.
Power of the buddy system, right? You don't necessarily have to hold hands, especially not on Bocage, because as long as you are within a 50-foot radius of your teammate, you can always be there for the trades. And I mean, again, fairly standard rounds for the most part. You try to make a play up towards the middle of the map, trades back and forth, nice nade from Methods as well, but eventually just Florida overwhelming for that round. Trying to tie things up on 3-3. All these rounds have been so standard.
Whoa, it's crazy once again. Vivid, Awakening, first kills go their way. TJ's gone. You may as well get us to the next round. As Methods now in the 1v4. The Mutineers have blown the doors wide off of this one. We're looking at 3-3 after this chance. And Zinni, this would be something special in the straight-up 1v4. He did it once in Cold War. One of the only players, if not the only player to do it. Can he do it again? Maybe.
There's one. He's clutched a few times, right? Not even just last year, but the previous one too. He's good for like, what, 1 clutch for every year at the CDL.
Maybe. None of it yet, but look at this fan out from the Mutineers. All corners of the map covered. Zinni's about to walk into it. Dave Paddy's up first. Zinni. Oh, he's alive. 30 seconds on the clock.
Awakening saw him.
Saw him. Here comes the kill team. Sky slides right through Kitchen, and maybe if he does go B, who knows?
I mean, that is a situation where there's nothing you can do. He had a wonderful read on Dave Paddy. As soon as he picks up that bomb, he's ready for the chow, but I think the setup right there for the end for Florida just too good. I mean, they just had the spread across the map, ARs in everybody's hands, so just nice coverage and a great count around. I'm very confused as to how many of these teams are just trying to run straight underneath that window and just praying and have no one look over them. But, I mean, hey, if you're on defense, you will take those free kills every day of the week. Boston stacking up in grandmas once again.
Mutineers tie things up. We're all here at 3-3. Dave Paddy versus Nero on the outside. A little bit of trouble there with the barn door, but Nero's going to get it done. Oh, nice fancy footwork. Oh, my word. It's 3 down already for Breach. The opening gambit has failed. That's a closeout. Another humdinger from the Mutineers.
There must have been an agreement at the start of this game of like, hey, whoever gets first, we'll just blow out these rounds. No spiciness, nothing creative. It's just like, we're going to hit full send and just commit. Whatever happens, happens. I mean, you're on defense. You are playing up in barn, and you are just wide challenging out with no coverage towards the middle of the map. I mean, these teams, they're truly just going for it.
It's an old style of warfare. What, you line up against each other and you sort of take turns.
Revolutionary war.
I don't like to say it for obvious reasons, but here we go. Once more into the absolute calamity, chaos that is the Bocage Search and Destroy. This one a little slower. Finally, Mutineers have turned Grandma's into a fortress. Breach just on the outside, not quite ready to knock in yet, but I think Nero building up the courage to. He asked for some sugar from these neighbors.
And can someone please, thank you for, watch the window before, not after, especially when Nero's sliding under without any dead silence, no ninja. You expect the peek to come through, but at least the trades are there for the 3v3. Awakening gets caught as well. Method's picking them apart. So you got the flank coming, Dave Patty there, boom, just like that, 2 versus 2.
Blink of an eye, it's done. TJ at range. Oh, Dave Patty!
Just handing kills. Can someone shoot back?
They just keep feeding him. Capsule now, 1v2. And he's staying there. Dave Patty, number 7 on the minimap. He's staying there. Grab that bomb. 25 on the clock now. Capsule going to fast plant this one. The defenders have yet to move. It's on Vivid and Dave Patty. 1 kill and the defuse is all they need. 40 on the clock. Oh my, chance. Oh my. They've jumped straight on it. Caps it all. Finding the first. 30 seconds remaining. Vivid now the dance. Will he find anything with a stun? No. Quick check once again. Caps it all!
Miles, I feel like I'm commentating like a high-level ranked game. Like, that's like the, like, you're in a one, it was like 20 seconds to work with, and you just hop in the bomb, I mean, out of fear, out of just going for it. I mean, you're having players get picked off before anyone's watching the top window. Awakening just shows up at the window, hands his life to Zinni. You have Dave Patty killing someone off the tank, and TJ's like, me too. I'll have, like, it's so strange, this game so far, but whatever the case may be, tied up 4-4.
4-4, we love it. Are we going to go back to the absolute madness of mid? Maybe. Exchange is now being dished out. Boston Breach go back to that deep line defense all the way at the back. We saw this fail for them in a previous round. Now, will it come to something other than Methods getting first blooded? That's the major question. Uh-oh. Vivid. Meet Capsule. Awakening through the window. Dave Patty trying to help out, but Big Cap finds himself too.
Capsule making the big plays, right? We talked about it, 1.3 S&D KD. Haven't seen a ton of them on this map. Well, these past 2 rounds in the entire game as well, he has provided. Skies and Dave Patty trying to make something happen, but they're both rocking autos. They got to find me. Biggs can't find it because Cap is there on a 5 spree, 10 kills to his name, and I think Skies is now trying to figure out how quickly he can get off this map. You cannot afford to feed these kills to Capsule.
There it is.
As he literally, by himself, won his team this round.
Yeah, he has done an amazing job. Sky's still looking for it. I don't think there is a way off of...
no, over to the
through the tanks, yeah.
There you go.
No one's looking for it. Skies is out. He's a deserter. Or a mutineer. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all weekend.
How long have you been waiting for that moment?
Been waiting for 3 long years, my friend.
For that one.
Another good round from Boston, but it's that man on your screen that made the difference.
A perfect call and a perfect round right there from Capsule, right? By himself on the A site, maybe has a little bit of that intel, but literally just guns 3 people back to back to back. On a 5 spree, but you don't need the kill streak. Just send them in first and let them wipe them off the map. They're taking things a little bit slower. Maybe this is the game of 2 different paces, right? First half, everyone just wants to die. Second half, slow things down just a little bit. Boom. Methods finds that pick over towards the B site. Now number 6 might have to wrap back just a little bit. That might be the opening to encroach over towards this A site. Whenever Boston want to make that call, or TJ gets picked.
Sure. We'll take the pick for now, and it's a slow approach. Staying on with Capsule. Yet to really get anything going just yet. And again, this is the tension of 5-4 right now. This is map point for Boston. Guys with the nade check over towards the B site. Won't find much. Capsule will be brought down. Nero with a quick trade. And just like that, chance, JV2.
That is one of the hardest jumps in the game, just to mantle on that gate. At least in my experience, it is very tricky, but a 2 versus 2. Vivid gets spotted, but Vivid wins the gunfight. Method's not quick enough for the trade. Dude, I don't
He faked him out. He faked him out with the window hop.
Dude,
or he made a mistake.
If he hits the jump, then he's up top. He can't shoot you from there. You have to look down low.
Ooh, we'll take it.
A sloppy game to go to round 11.
Oh, I love it though. It's fun. And this is it, round 11. Mutineers have fought back. Boston have done so much hard work to make this journey. And again, this is to tie the series up 1-1 for Boston. Their round 11 records 0-2 for both squads. Someone's getting a dub today.
Oh my
Grandmaster Nades are in. Ears be ringing. And this could get interesting real fast. Top positions now covered from Capsule. He's got eyes on the middle of the map. If he chooses to go for it, he'll be pick of the litter. There's players everywhere.
In Vivid's presence, by the way, he gets stunned down low, and now Boston have to be constantly concerned about this situation. They're feeling the pressure. They're a little bit scattered. Nero doing the window jump. Cap looking for the first move. Stays alive.
Stays alive. The hipfire works out, and here we go. Mutineers starting to walk a little bit further forward. Trying to make something happen. Nero from the top window, and the second! He strikes and gets himself two. Now 4v2. Skies and Dave Paddy now on the back line. Tagged up. Nero's looking for his third. TJ Haley's there. Dave Paddy all alone. Boston. They bring it back on Bacage.
Well,
line up 1-1.
Yeah, we have ourselves a series. Map 1, not pretty. Frankly, map 2, not too pretty either, but the bounce back game, well, Cap basically took over a couple of those rounds, but even Nero struggled in map number 1. What does he do, though, in the round 11? Picking up the 2 pieces, securing it for the team. The rookies went massive there in game number 2. Boston again, yes indeed, it can be clean.
10-6, Capsule, huge stuff out of him. And it was an incredible run. That 3-piece he got in that round basically wins the whole thing for them. Methods, a couple of nice runs out of him. Slow and kind of scary start, I think, for the Boston Breach fans there in the search. But hey, they got it done in the end for the Florida Mutineers. It was so close. A couple of sweet, lucky moments go their way. But that is the way the cookie crumbles, especially here on Vanguard. That is our series tied up 1-1. We love it. Have a look at those highlights in just a moment. I did get a DM before this match started that they will remain anonymous, but it was your trash. Mutineers get it done in 3, something along those lines. It was close, but it was no cigar. At least half of that statement is true. But hey, Chance, a fun one, indeed, on the cage.
That is absolutely an adjective you can use for that match that went round 11. But Tusken Control, again, very interesting. We've talked about Boston, their struggles in that game mode. Tusken, not necessarily the case. It's not necessarily their preferred map because they never play it, but Gavutu hasn't gone well, so this is where I'm looking at Capsule. I'm looking at Nero to step it up and continue what they just provided in that game number 2 and let that SMG prowess try to run that show on the Tusken. I mean, obviously they got bullied out in map number 1, so you thought the guns were hot from Florida, but hey, it's the bounce back. It is tied 1-1. Boston will be feeling good.
We'll see. With that, we say goodbye to Bacage and a load of Tusken Control coming up after this break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Tied up 1-1, Boston breach Florida Mutineers after a scrappy but very interesting search and destroy there in Bocage. We bid farewell to the French fields and we say how diddly doodly to the towers of Tuscany. I don't know, the towers, they're sort of lovely. Bell towers, you know what I'm saying? It's really fun, but we're going to be playing Control in just a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Major, day 2 of 4 so far, and let me tell you, it's been very, very fun indeed. Miles, a chance to take you through this one. Mate, excited, genuinely excited to see Tuscany.
Yeah, absolutely. Get us away from Bocage for these two teams is, I'll be honest, if that softness sort of continues in Control, who knows what can happen, right? It can be difficult to win offensive rounds, but if there's some setups getting broken down like this, it might very well just be a wild performance where the slang makes the biggest difference. And, well, we can take a look at exactly how that slang has been. We have some Control stats for you. Hopefully to be on the KD side, and there you go. TJ, not super sweet. On the flip side, Dave Patty, very much so. And the fact that TJ has a .93 and that is your top performer, not ideal.
You're a wizard, Paddy. Does manage to find the KDs in there and get your top performance this season as far in our matchup. We go to Tuscan, and a chance for me. I don't know, we're excited about a kind of a scrappy game. I'm down for a close one. The today is what, been 3-0s after 3-0s. We finally got ourselves a little bit of back and forth. I love it. Players loading into the map now. Let's get it.
And again, just the battle between these two teams. We've talked about the rookies, but also the fact that they're fairly comparable, right? Like the teams that got sort of separated at the top half of the show. I mean, if you're at the bottom of the league, that is not going to be a fun place to have to bounce back from. Not going to be fun when you're fighting for CDL points. And again, the record itself does not look good in the slightest for Boston, but the majority of that has been on Gabutu. And the same thing very well could be said for the stats, right? If you're not having a good time on that map, your subs are going to suffer. With Tuscan, a little bit different, right? Still going to suffer a little bit more, but the subs more so will be running the show. Cap had big energy there in that game number 2, and even Nero was right there next to him. I think finished with 9 kills. Big plays in that round 11. Those two guys, obviously, in my mind, the focus point on this map. Boston, it is the long-term issue. They got to turn their Control around.
And that may be the case here. We find out as we get into the matchup. And Charles, I think it's one thing we talk about when it comes to the younger players, the rookies. They seem so full of ability and so talented, right? You want to give them the momentum. If you can keep the series going in their favor, a couple of decent Control rounds, who knows, they could go the distance. It's the more kind of like the vet teams that have got more structure to their gameplay. And Boston feel like, you know, you just throw them in the blender and see how they go, and it kind of gets a bit crazy at times. Do you feel like the rookies need the momentum to get things going?
I mean, if that's what they need, that's exactly what they just got, right? At least on the side of Boston for the map 2. I don't know. I'm willing to just chalk up map 2 in my mind and just be like, all right, it was just that one. We're there. We're back to respawn. And we'll be making better plays because, I mean, we had the listening for Florida, right? Like, their small talk was pretty good. They're covering each other's backs. I think Dave Patty especially, I think, has shined in that role. Once we get one for Boston, we'll see how it's going for the other side. I know Methods can certainly be a chatterbox maybe to lead the way for the squad, but I mean, the name of the game, it has been set in stone since before this series started. How well can the rookies on both sides perform in this game? Dave has been a machine, and honestly, at this point, Cap has to.
Thumbs are up. We'll see if we can get into this one. Sky's taking it easy. A slight moment of rest now before we get into Tuscan. Control coming up in just a brief moment. Capsule, one of the more exciting players we've seen break into the scene when it comes to Vanguard. Again, took kickoff by storm. That what 8-9 spree was one that we will be thinking about for a while, and I think very exciting long careers ahead of them. But you got to start writing that history now, friends. These maps, every single one of them counts. As Major 1 continues to impress. Here we go into Tuscan. We're looking at the Control ranks now, Chuck.
And the most obvious thing, again, it just comes down to that KD. If you, it's actually a little bit impressive that they are last in KD and not last in everything else, right? Maybe a similar situation on Bocage when they're getting heavily outslayed, occasionally able to keep it close. Not very much this game. By the way, fun fact about Capsule, only 5'10".
Only 5'10".
Crazy.
Wow, how short's the rest of the team? Unbelievable. Fun facts though about Tuscan, again, that 90% capture first time, that's A-Zone. Usually vanishes. Although we have seen teams making the B hits work out, that's been very interesting to watch. 32% there on the offensive wins as well. And Tuscan, not an easy one, man. You've been in rank play, you know how hard it is. When you finally capture A, you try to hit B, you get brought back a couple of times, then you find them in your spawn. It's a wild one, man. It really is.
I am genuinely like almost desperate to see more B hits. Not necessarily like a 4-stack off the rip, but just more creative ideas. We have Optigig times cutting through the middle of the map, but I think the most success we have really over towards capping B, it's when things get mixy. Like once you get like pushed out to that roof spawn and you just get that quick route to actually go over on the attack and get a couple bodies on point, then the team on defense, you've seen it a few times, are a little bit scattered. They send 2 over to defend B because they don't want to lose control over towards A. That's the kind of mixiness I'm looking for, right? If the entire league, it's like a 32% average to win on offense, I mean, you're going to have to start mixing things up because we've seen time and time again, even when you're getting the 4-man setup, you get that P5 control, you get that church control. It is just so difficult to break through that defensive line if either one of these teams have something cooked up for this tournament.
We have had a lobby crash, so we're going to get the game restarted ASAP. Again, a brief pause now just to get the players in the lobby. It's all smiles and good vibes across from both teams, but chance again, that vibe is one thing. We use the term quite interchangeably here in the COD League, but players' moods, players' mindset, incredibly important when it comes to these longer days. And today is one of the longer days we have here in the Major. 5 matches being played today. Desperately trying to make it into Saturday and Sunday's games. How do you keep the heads right? How do you keep your mindset straight? What do you do?
Well, I mean, are you asking for us or the players? Because for the players, it's 1 match a day, at least for these guys, right? Like, you know exactly what the game plan is. They have had all the time in the world to prepare. I mean, if you're looking at this from, like, what, the perspective of Florida, they knew what series that they were going to be dealing with, whether it be Boston or whoever it was that Boston lost to yesterday. But I think they just can be cold and calculated. Or, yeah, Atlanta. So there was no question about who Florida was going to be playing today. They've known since the bracket got made that they were going to be dealing with the breach in this moment. So no lack of homework can be an excuse. Honestly, even the long days, no excuses either, right? You only get that 1 match. You know what the game plan is.
At all. Capsule again, that's 63% non-traded kills. That is a man who wins his ones. Gets to go a little rogue on the map more often than not and has a great time about it.
Well, funny, 63% is actually fairly low from what we've seen from the league, but that's purely because of the maps that we were playing, right? On Bocage, if you're able to get a kill and stay alive for more than a few seconds, that is impressive.
Indeed impressive there on the cage. Tuscan. Very different looking map though, man. A lot bigger. We talk about this rotation becomes a hard point. 3rd time's the charm, friends. Here we go. We're going to roll back into this one. Tuscan control awaits. But when it comes to the game mode though, man, it's, you know, Merc, maybe they talked about it. We've been talking about it since the kickoff of the game. Glorify TDM at times. There may be 2 objectives in play, but the kills have a tremendous value in all moments of the game.
And that is why you need to have a little bit of that creativity, right? Because you just can't expect to be winning the gunfights every single time you play a match, right? Especially 2 teams. I mean, if you're not the main Slayers, or if you're not one of like the top 3 teams in the league, you have to know that you will be dealing with consistent offensive rounds for the round 5. So, I mean, again, especially for Boston, right? I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily the expectation that they would be coming to a Tuscan control, or maybe we'll never see Tuscan control. Who knows?
I'm not sure. Well, at this point in time, yeah, the lobby we've had another issue. The lobby has crashed once more. So my thing, I would love to blame TJ. That's what I would like to do.
It is his fault.
Because I could just see his face whenever anything goes wrong, and I think, TJ, what have you done? That's not the case, though. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, there it is. He's definitely done something. Look, he's up to some mischief. He's been breaching things. There you go, TJ. Well, we're going to get this lobby back up and running ASAP, ladies and gentlemen. Come back after this break. We've got Tuscan control waiting for you.
Energy, been in my process pre-K. Shooting my shot from long range, going over heads a good two-pay. Treat every day like payday. Y'all been living so mundane. My work week is Sunday to oh wait, that's every day. Putting in overtime, punching the clock, I'ma get what's mine. While everyone's
Ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen, Santa's back, and let me tell you, my sack is full and we got some breadies for you. I think we got a Tuscan control. Chance. I think we have a Tuscan control.
I am so happy to hear you say that because I had zero follow-up for that intro, but
It's
Tuscan
early
control,
for Christmas, I know.
round 4 for a game that potentially will end up going to a round 5. We'll try to get this going. We are familiar towards the music. We have talked about all the players in this lobby multiple times. Harry Potter references on deck. Lord of the Rings references.
No, not yet.
Potentially on deck.
Ruin my big finish.
I would never do that. It's the setup. It's the teaser.
I think we may be in, ladies and gentlemen. Don't jinx it. Everyone cross everything you got. Legs, toes, eyes. We're in, baby!
Oh my God.
Let's get it! Map number 3.
And look at it. It's the 4-man B hit off the rip. Boston, oh, how I love you.
Vivid is about to lose it or not. First blood. Nice kill.
Single
Viv.
shot.
Woo! In we go. Straight towards the B zone. A couple of shots in. They're going to make it. Capsule makes it to the back. That's going to be good enough for now. We'll take it. Slow progress and Skies! Nice 3 to get things going.
And again, I did try to specify, right? Not necessarily a 4-man stack over towards B, maybe when you get things mixy, because obviously if you get dominated on the defensive side like that, going back towards A, well, you actually have to fight your way out of it. Right now, Boston taking their time, so I appreciate the energy. Now they've at least able to stabilize. Only down by a life, maybe able to even things up. It is not the worst case scenario. About 15, 20 seconds they got wasted.
It's a nice sort of opening gambit. It's a bold play, but you know, it certainly works out if you get the kills, and they kept it even. Here we go though towards the A zone, and look at the clock though, Chance. We've got about 40 seconds remaining here in our opening round. Boston Breach on offense. He's yet to get the kill. Finds it finally with a nade. Over we go. Finally able to stop this one slowly but surely. But Dave Paddy. Oh, here we go.
Nice wins. Oh, never mind. Team kill.
Team kill. For either way though, kills keep coming through. You do have Boston's point there paused at 29.5.
His players on the front side. Awakening, shooting, nothing. And positions known. Still wins the gunfight though, so he'll be happy to take that one. And he takes 2 with him. And then another team kill. Oh, dear God.
Oh, it's big, though. It's just kills keep going. Clock's flying. You're struggling right now. Dave Paddy's yet to die. He's on 5-0. TJ, though, trying to be the hero, and he can for a brief moment. Paused once again. 14 seconds now. Boston Breach starting to get the capture done at A.
And I'm really trying to remember whether or not Dave Paddy actually got team kills. So I don't know if this is actually a streak or not, but we'll get back to that. It's over now. We're towards A. Guys again on the defensive end, able to pick up 2. 9 seconds left on the clock. Boston, they got punished for trying to go to B, or maybe this is the opening, because now they're forced to go through. This is actually the roof spawn I was talking to, but 2.3, all that's left.
Awakening can't stop the onslaught now. Closer, more players on B. This is great looks now of Boston. It's a last-ditch effort now here in the opening round to try to get something done. 1 segment gone, seconds on its way out. Big Wakes winning gunfights. City's got to go big. Finds at least 1. Good progress on the second segment as well. And oh baby, we may see it. Vivid though slides in. The clock's open. Tej can't get there in time.
Man, waste. I mean, 2.3 is just not enough time to have on the clock. But even then, I mean, you got to be sprinting towards that hill in that moment, because Dave Paddy actually just took himself out of the fight. It was sort of like I talked about in the setup. Dave is still wanting to keep control of A, trying to make sure you manipulate those spawns. But if he's out of the play, Boston certainly have those deeper spawns, so it takes a little bit longer. But and they had a couple 4v3 opportunities. But that being said, he is 6-0. I do think he got team killed.
Absolutely. Vinny took a lot there, but not enough to bring him down. Awakening there with that first blood. On A we go. Only for a brief few seconds. Vivid's up next. Halfway through the first segment. Opening gambit, not towards B, but they're going to see it on respawn. Oh, sorry, for the Mutineers on the respawn. They're now, yeah, going towards B. There we are. Who's going to be there? Nero, brought down immediately by Skies. Vivid, eyes on that back tank position. You will see a player here almost every single time, and this is an interesting look right now for the Florida Mutineers. They're truly split. Player in church, player back A, and there were 2 players there on the B push.
That's very big gunfight win by Nero, and well, Skies going to be looking for the trades, or maybe waiting for it to come to him. He doesn't, and look at the defense from Boston. A little bit of pressure over towards B. They send everybody that direction and take care of business. Now you're back to Old Faithful, the standard. You know the push is going to be coming over towards A. Boston right now, nice and secure. Capital even thinking about a potential flank.
Boston on the defense. We'll see if that flank comes through. But for now, let's go for a quick listen in with the Boston breach.
Dark side, you.
I'm about to back up.
Okay.
You can try to pinch it on mid.
Yeah.
Okay, try it. Nothing. They did their side, you.
Go.
Put one sit on me.
Okay, okay.
You're out.
Like, over there, mid lane. Up mid lane.
Fire, Reese.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay.
Their side, you. Fire weak, and one's their side, you. On top church.
I'm P5. I got P5.
Pick up low church, guys.
I got
top church.
That's the guy fire.
Take it below church. You right now.
I'm backing up the tank, right? I'm Arslan though.
Okay, there's two.
I got nade green. Church is
Almost fire.
I'm weak though.
Back on spawn. P5.
I got you up P5.
I have the entire back, guys. Post that up.
What's open right now, Church?
Yeah, and
I kind of agree.
I still got your P5.
Reese is green, bro. Reese is green.
Church alley.
Church alley.
Absolute P5.
One shot, Church alley.
What's P5, Dave?
They point together.
Top green dead.
Point over. Okay, I'm
stuck. I stuck back up.
Okay.
Top green, one shot.
Absolute. Top green, Dave.
Top green back out.
Back element. One shot.
I'm betting back out.
Cup your church.
One shot. Yeah, I'm pitching.
Back out. And what's top flat?
Back out, one shot.
Okay, favor back, yep.
Let's go, come on.
Hey, I'm going.
On point. That was Reese too.
They can be plat, right?
Another one. He's weak.
I'm green heady right now.
Can we do red already?
Yeah. Okay, I'll pick it up on my spawn.
Yeah, we're down two.
I got the
Get the setup. I'll watch top from the heady.
Yeah, I got
Hey, don't die. What's the setup? Watch your own plat. Watch Church alley. Can you come like low? Actually, no. Double plat.
I'm one shot plat.
I'm watching.
I'm looking plat right here.
Yep. I am top green. Watch Church alley. Oh, you gotta watch
Church alley. Yeah, I have it.
I don't see anything in the back.
I'm dating plat here.
So if you need help in the back, I'm right here.
Okay.
Church alley. Arslan, Church alley.
I didn't see anything in the back.
He's still the green.
Top green dead. Top green now.
What's gonna be in the back?
Watch the back. Nothing in the back. Nothing in the back.
He hit the point, touch the point. He's under you, Teach.
Under me, yeah. I don't see top green.
22 seconds left in the round. You heard the quiet go there for Boston Breach. They had plenty of time to make it happen. Here comes the last few hits. One player left up. Boston Breach hold the line. The defense remains true.
And they might have had to have a conversation about what exactly the setup was supposed to be, but the setup was clean. You get the kills, and Nero popping off of that three-piece to hold strong on that defensive end. And I will say a couple moments like that, right? Of like saying, hey, do the setup. Wait, what's the setup? And having to like go back and figure it out. There's a moment where TJ is rotating over towards the two rookies, and he's having to ask, like, hey man, what's open? Like, what's actually going on up there? So the communication, maybe not as clean, a little bit lackluster from the rookies. A couple setups get punched through, but I suppose in the end, all is well, all is good. Get that defensive win.
Yeah, things got a little crazy there, but Breach managed to keep it together there on the defensive round for now. The life count, not too far off either. Here we go though, another round. Boston Breach on offense, Florida Mutineers defending. And this time, it's a 2-hit through mid. One either side for Boston Breach.
And those stuns are great, right? Number 7, Dave Patty, he was in Church Alley. I think if he wasn't connecting with those stuns mid-map, he hits that quick rotation over towards B, because then you'd expect that pressure. But now actually, B is open, and this is the mixiness I was talking about. How many players right now do Florida want to have to actually wrap back to you with Capital? They send 2. And Cap right now just trying to draw their attention away, but unfortunately for Boston, in spite of that, I mean, over towards A, the ARs right now for Florida, just picking them apart.
Yeah, Capstan pulls the aggro for a moment, but they're still here now. They know he's in the back lines, but at this moment in time, they're still keeping an eye on the zones. All the progress at A came so close to being closed out in that first segment, gone. B, almost the same. Here comes the push, though, from Boston. Methods, he's going to be up first. 13 and 9, trying to lead from the front. Teach hits you. There's the pinch. Skies, can't get it done. Good stuff out of Zinni. Going to get himself on point now for a few moments. Vivid is there, and he guns him. That's going to be another nice looks now from the Mutineers on defense.
Oh, nice nades, though. Just getting pelted with his stuns as well. Able to take down Vivid and buy yourself that clearance towards the A point. They got the middle map control as well, and they have top church. Guy's about to get shot in the side. He's going to fall. And at least now you're getting the kills. You got the setup, and maybe for Florida throwing that extra little life away. Vivid trying to see if he can find an opening. The opening's not there. Good comms out of Boston for Nier to know where that player was going to be. That delivers a 3-life lead. It's going to be a minute and 40 on the clock to work with. Boston trying to pull off this offensive round.
Finally seeing what Mutineers are going to have to pull now on defense towards B. Starting to fan out, make their way through mid as well. Near and out from bottom church. Forward we go. Kills on either side. We'll be able to stop the clock in just a brief moment. Looks left, looks right before crosses the street. We love that. Dave Paddy, though, cut down. Now the aggression. Here goes Nero. Sky is right off spawn, finding at least one. And it's a slow and steady push now as the rest of Boston, they were brought down the back on spawn.
And keep in mind right now, at least in the kills column, Florida is up by 4 or 5. Well, picking up a couple more kills. We're thinking about a potential defense for round 5. Florida, well, right now have that edge. Still plenty of time, though, for Boston to work with. You can get maybe 2 fantastic or 3 sort of scattered pushes in. They got a little pressure over towards Church, and if you find these kills or backs guys down, well, Nair's able to pick up 2. P5 is open. Vivid, though, on the flank might be able to just shut this down.
Here we go. We're on B. Off for a brief moment now, but the numbers starting to well up there from Boston Breach. A few more now, making their way in the back lines. That's a big win from Capsule. Vivid's up next. Oh my God, Big Cap's hard to kill. He's still there. Teamwork prevails. Sky's up there. Nero trying to keep the back lines alive. Oh, it's unfortunate timing. Dave Paddy stays alive as well. Here we go. TJ, front line now, all alone. Has to find something, and his patience has paid off. You're a wizard, Paddy. All you had to do was not run in.
That was tragic for TJ too, right? I think the stun doesn't connect in the back, so he thinks that player's over towards Zell, so gets baited by almost the lack of information. Capsule, though, cleaning house, is able to pick up 2, clears out flat. Here you go, 3 bodies on point.
This is it, the stack's in. Look how fast the capture progress is going to start going. You need to see the kills from Mutineers show up real fast. Here comes Skies. He finds one. Oh my! His name is Cesar Skies Bueno, and you know how this goes. Big Wake pushing the front line forward. 15 seconds left. And this should be the Mutineers round.
I mean, how many times Skies on the defensive end making the big play, right? In round number 1, he was picking up 3, this time picking up 2. But it's not just that. It was the patience from him in that moment as this round comes to a close. The patience from Skies. You saw him in the back corner. He waits for those nades to come in, softened all those players up, and he times it for the 2-piece. Florida on point on the defensive end. And I think, honestly, their communication's probably on point, right? We even saw earlier in the round, right? Capsule gets behind enemy lines. Skies is over towards A. He is turned ready for those gunfights. Florida right now on point. Question is, can they close it out here? It looks like they're going for it, right? 3 over towards B, making a little bit of noise. TJ finds the kill, but for the moment, only 1 player for Boston is wrapped to the site.
Nero! Oh my God! They absolutely pummeled him. They beat him to a pulp in there. Capsule here for the cleanups. Method's going to help out. You do get on B, though. This is huge for the Mutineers. Teaching, big win. Awakening, big win. Staying alive in the back. But he's got so much work to do, and he's getting it done. Awakening finding a few more. Not able to buy his teammates enough time to get forward, but Skies picks a corner. He's nestled in, waiting for the reinforcements.
Yeah, love the attempt, but just big ones won by both TJ and Methods in those moments. TJ especially. And now, though, if you're Boston, you got to crank it up in the slaying column, right? Because you're down by 1 in this round, down by about 7 or 8 overall. You need to try to make this comeback climb. You're going to have to win this in a dominant fashion because neither team so far has had a ton of success on offense. But this is still very mixy. Skies, they're pouring the pressure on B. This is what you love to see. Even number 8's coming to help, so this is now a 2-front war.
Starting to bleed out a little. 18 lives of Breach. 22 now remaining for the Florida Mutineers. Keeping the pressure on B. TJ's got an out clean house. Mutineers now trying to hit the back. They may have just done this. They've got in behind those members of the Boston Breach. And if they time this well, in which they could, it could be kills. Oh, there's the first. Pressure on towards B now. Here comes the pinch.
It is the pinch from Platt, right? You got number 6 flying over, 2 players now in the back. If you play this aggressive, just pick up these trades. TJ, the last one for the squad nearby, but it looks like the trades are good. And Methods even dropping Awakening in the back. That was a very strong attempt by Mutineers, but Boston shuts them down.
Shut them down indeed. 15 now for Boston, 18 for the Mutineers. Breathe deep, slow things down. You've got a minute 30 to work with still. A couple of kills across maps going to make this a little more fun on the approach. Mutineers still trying to find a way in. Capsule, Top Church locking it down. Awakening, the only player to really find that space. And he's finding it. Finally brought down by TJ. This could be the defensive hold they needed. 11 lives now remaining for Boston.
And again, that kills column, though. Florida, they know the name of the game, right? You got the advantage both in the kills and the round count. They're still trying to pour on that pressure. The Capsule ready for that gunfight. Drops Vivid to soften up that push. Now it looks like Florida going to have to wait for Vivid to come off, respawn to try to get that 4-stack towards him.
Trying to dig deep. 4-stack's going to be essential soon. That clock is starting to dwindle out. 2-man hit through Platt. Trades come through. Vivid's on point. Massive win from Methods. In and out he goes. Sky's managed to make it on point. Clocks get stopped. Now, here's the stack. Awakens here. Oh, baby. And it's Chef Tony. He's found himself another one. Forward he goes, and it's Sin City, baby. He manages to stop the second segment coming through. That is tremendous out of Zinni.
Again, just good on the defensive end. Even Methods in that moment, just waiting for the nades. But you still have the pressure. This is no respawns remaining. The aggression has just been too much in Florida. It looks like they might be able to get this done.
Oh, that's one left now. Capsidal. There it is. The kill comes through. Can't get it done. It was a tremendous effort towards the end, just trying to keep the defense going. But Mutineers get the job done there. Control goes their way. And as you can see, the Mutineers and the Skies fan club certainly happy about that one. 2-1 now in the series.
And their slaying has just been on point. We saw it in Bocage, and we saw it there, especially towards the end. Like, those lives started to deplete so fast. I mean, those final, like, 20, 25 seconds, that kill feed, Boston was not finding a ton of kills. I mean, Methods picks up those two. You think it's clear for a moment, and 5 seconds later, of course, it's Vivid. Just right back in your face. Just pushing that pace, but Big Wake 32 and 20. I mean, it's just massive outslaying across the board. Vivid goes negative by a little bit, but that's because you got, what, a plus 12 and a plus 8 towards the bottom side there. And I mean, again, at least for the respawns, Florida just been dominant.
Dominant indeed. Highlights now from Tuscan. We finally got there in the end, and it was a bloodbath. Skies with the massive plays towards the end there and decent offensive, defensive rounds. That was the opening three-piece he got off the crazy hit. The three-man B hit there from Boston. The four-man even. Crazy stuff out of them. And again, getting creative on Tuscan seems to be the name of the game. But this is it. As things start to get dangerous now for Boston Breach here in the major. One more map is all they've got. They've got to stay alive here, force that final, search and destroy. It's not going to be easy. And again, momentum seems to be it. It's a little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of discord when it comes to the comms. And so far, they're struggling a little, but the Mutineers' chance smooth sailing, it seems.
And I think at least looking at the scoreboard there, I know this is very early in the game, but it's both your subs negative, and even I think it was TJ as well, double negative. So, I mean, at least as far as the respawns go, the name of the game has been slang. Mutineers have just been taking them to task. We're going to be going back towards Tuscan for the game number 4. We're on this map, both teams 1-1, with Florida with the 1.05 KD compared to the 1.01 for Boston. So for Boston, not a bad look, but obviously so far in this series, I mean, they just got to step it up.
Tuscan hardpoint coming up next, and then if we have to go the distance, should the Boston Breach be able to pull things back, it's a throwdown on Desert Siege to determine who walks away in this tournament and who does get eliminated. Because it's loser bracket friends, that means somebody is going home. Mate, search, well, not search, right, hardpoint coming, not yet, I'm hoping. We've got that hard point coming up, and again for Tuscan kicking this one off in just a moment. I'm worried, man. I'm worried right now for Boston. After a loss like that, that was a bit of a blowout. The rookies, what do you do? Is Caps going to keep his head in it? Well, that's the biggest concern I've got. I still think he's an amazing player, but hey, man, when you start losing the big lights on you, things get a little bit shaky.
I mean, there was a strong bounce back for game number 2, though, right? I mean, Capsidal was popping off, so if you could do it after map 1, you can certainly do it after map 3. Not that it is an easy thing to do. Again, I think the advantage certainly in the slaying category at least has been slightly towards the Florida Mutineers. When it comes to the top performers, well, Big Wake, a big reason why. I mean, just even the rotational kills, by the way. I think the way those work, it's in the first 15 seconds of a hill, or the final 15 seconds of a hill, excuse me, leading into the start of that rotation. I mean, that is where Awakening, one of the best in the league, he has been a menace on top of the fact that his KD has been out of this world. I think when you're looking at the stats across the board for the individuals of Florida, some players pick it up in certain game modes. Awakening has been a monster in hardpoint for the team. Obviously, we go back to Tuscan. He was feasting on them in game number 3. No reason for him to slow down now.
Awakening making his debut back in the MW 2019, the inaugural season of the CDL. He had a wonderful run in Cold War, one of the most terrifying players on the map. And right now, it seems he's finding a sort of teamwork form here in Vanguard in our 3rd season of the CDL. It's been interesting to watch, you know, the progress of these players, and we'll see, though. The fist bumps are out, the final moments of hydration there from Chef Tony, from Methods, and this could be it. The last chance Boston Breach have in the tournament to keep themselves alive. For Florida Mutineers, a 3-1 looks pretty good, but here we go. We remain on Tuscan. Hardpoint awaits.
Facing elimination, not fun. Not easy for the confidence, especially, I mean, if they lose here, right? You go 1-6 in map count, smacked around just a little bit, so this is time to clutch up. And fun enough, we talked about how the KD is ever important, but that rotational battle, well, Big Wake, if he's 6th in the league on winning those gunfights, talk about how important rotations can be on a map like Tuscan. Maybe the most sort of like normal COD sort of for this game that we have, where there's a couple swings that you need to be on point, especially that 2-3 battle, but off the rip, TJ, that first one to strike. Boston, just based on where they spawn, they get to this hill first, and they take full advantage of that fact. Nero flying through.
Nero's in, and he's in the back line. Dave Patty! Can't get it done. Nero, 6 HP, keeping the team going. Big Vivid, no, he's brought down as well. Nero's on a tear.
I mean, the best he's done on the opening break is 9-0. 4-0 is not too shabby. They have flipped those spawns instantly. This is what Boston needs. Number 5, number 6, number 7, wow! Lighting him down. When this man starts this map, you need to trade him or he will kill you all.
He certainly did. What a start for Breach. 40 seconds out of a possible 60. They're not going to be able to get all of it, but my golly, they got a lot. That was an explosive opening.
I mean, hey, you flip the spawns back and forth. Maybe you want the deep ones, but you will take a 52-0 lead after P1. I mean, you get a break here for Boston. They're feeling fantastic, and they're trying to gear up through Church to make it happen. Maybe the fact that you start 7-0, calling the glide, and everybody right now is inside of Church. Dave, though, wins 2 massive ones to keep his team with that slight advantage.
Crucial. Awakening now on a 5-6. As Florida Mutineers have bounced back. P1, all Breach. P2, Mutineers now trying to get it going.
How are you 6-0 when Nero killed your entire team twice? That does not even make sense, but maybe now he's thinking about the glide, how to kill stolen from him, gets shot in the back, stays alive, and I mean, maybe Florida, this is the opportunity. By the way, this is rotational kills time. Awakening, this is where he's at his best. There's the glide, there's the rotational kill. In the back, Dave Patty wins a massive 1. Florida have turned this game around, or maybe not turn it around, but certainly make things interesting. Going into P3, he's gonna fall, but he'll spawn right back up towards New. This is where Florida trying to bounce back.
Yeah, trying to get the bounce back. Not quite as explosive as Breach were on the first point. Nero tagged up. His teammates making the push on the other side of the map, though. Awakening's got that back line covered. Very difficult to break in. Capsule with the angle. Damage dealt. Wow, what a fiery squad that is out the Mutineers. No one's getting close to that hard point. And this should be it. They should be able to level things up after this stronghold, but there's another push now from Boston, making their way through Ivy.
Try to get that timing down, right? Nero working with fire, his methods is shooting him in the back, and I think that timing might be perfect as Nero just waiting for the next kills, but maybe methods will just do it all. He's able to pick up 2, but I think right now the name of the game for these guys, keep them outside the point.
Nero! What? What?
Well, I was thinking they wanted to keep him outside the point, by the way, and not flip the spawns, but instead they get those final 15 seconds to scrap, so a bit of an interesting decision. They fight that hard, but they give up that rotation towards New, but obviously if you have a lead, you definitely have points to work with. Number 4 and number 7 in the back of the map, that is the fight for spawns, but Nero not quick enough. Vivid spawns on top. Vivid will take that gunfight every day of the week. Florida, nice and secure.
Slow and steady now for Florida. You got 2 players on point. On the outside now you got Dave Patty starting to work himself into a very comfy corner. We'll see how long he can remain here for. TJ's up first, guns him. Nero's coming around the corner. A dangerous player on this map, guns him. Flank secured on the inside of the Church. That's where the fight is, and for now, Dave Patty's got the outside covered. Mutineers got him. Oh, an Awakening. He's pushed him out. He's like, get out of here. No Church, no nothing, no mid-map. It's all me.
He's 13-2. He's 13-2, and he's pushed this far up on this hill. I mean, you're getting picked apart. You're trying to double hit through the P1 side, and TJ literally not even shooting the AR players towards the back, but maybe just bully through the front. Dave there to pick up 2. That's the clean wipe. You had a perfect start to get the glide, to help you rotate to P2. Florida bounced back, and well, now they have the lead.
Florida with the lead now. Hardpoint rotation, so done. Boston Breach, P5's all theirs. Mutineers are, what, 11th when it comes to break percentage overall? Something like that. Boston Breach 4th. This is going to be a tough one indeed. Not wasting too much time. TJ with the downstairs covered. 2 players upstairs. You're doing what you can now to make this work out. But here comes the Mutineers. Sky's in range. TJ's going to get 1. The trap set down low. Dave Patty's up next. Have they managed to break on in? Upstairs, the Mutineers are there. That's a teammate, Teach. Oh, an Awakening. Cleaning up the players from down low. Capsule can't get it done. Broken.
And what is that coordination, by the way, from Boston in that situation, right? You have 2 players above TJ. He's worried about the guy mid, and his teammates flying out to worry about the guy mid as well. So a little bit of a discombobulation, and Awakening is happy for it. 19-4. Someone kill this man.
Streaks have been delivered. Hardpoint time accumulating. Florida Mutineers starting to heat things up, and once they get going, it's difficult to stop them. Back to the first hard point we go. Second set now upon us. What a hard point this has been. Demon Joe raining in from the sky. He's going to get at least one out of this. And Nero, that was for the opening break, mate.
Gives you that first kill. You got the pinch right now coming in from all sides. Got to time it quick so you don't get shot in the back by the players coming off spawn. Capsule wins one. Methods picks up another as well. And that is Clyde Bomb invested. All for naught. Boston, get the 4-man sweep. Get rid of that Clyde Bomb for later rotations and are now firmly in control of this hill. We already saw what they did when it came the first time around. They got scored 52-0. They're running the score up. This has been their hill.
Yep, P1's all Boston. Big win once again from Nero. And man, after that start, Chance only 13-13 now. He's slowed right down. But here we go. Can he get it going once again? Lead change, Boston. 15 seconds remaining here. They're going to be able to get that. Over towards P2 we go. Capsule trying to find something. 7-13 for him. He's been a bit slow, but the rotation. Skies wins it. Florida should have the opening point.
At that Skies section of the map, right? Whether it be control or the hard point, he is ready for those fights, and that is a massive one for him to get. If it has not been for P1, I mean, this game honestly might be over. I think Florida would already be at 250s, but in spite of that, it is now a near tied-up game. Florida looking to take the lead. Got TJ down, able to jump inside the hill. Nero picks up 2, and that is a clean break coming through and a clean 4 down. The tables have turned. Boston leading this game when Awakening is 23-8. This game makes 0 sense.
We're not out of the woods yet. 25 remaining on the point. Big nade there from Capsule, slows him down. It's a dead nade, and it's soon to be a dead Awakening. No, he just goes prone, and now onto the point we go. Nero on a 4, can't get it. Streak's finished. TJ skeet shooting the Awakening as he flies off the top plat there. And there's a bit more time than we had. 10 seconds remaining here. Quick rotation to the other side of the map. Mutineers, they did a great job in the first set. Now in second, they've got it again. Can Capsule change the script? Can he reverse this? As the kills from the Mutineers keep on coming.
Rotational gunfights, man. Awakening is here. He is not the player to mess with in these situations, and he is, again, pushed so far up the map, so aggressive. I mean, Florida, they've had all the map control in the world when they get set up. They get set up for this rotation, but now Boston don't want to deal with Awakening. They're trying to go through vines.
Guy's the only player there. Capsule with a present over the top ropes. Nails it. Capsule's now on the point with Nero to back him up. Time going their way. Vivid, big win. Awakening still there, though. Whoa, he pushes the front out. 29-9. A 4-3 overall. 30 seconds remaining here, and this is Awakening in his element. Any more to be had? You know it. 6 now. Oh my God.
Dude, Awakening is just putting people on skates, but they are still struggling to actually pick up this time. Thank God for Skies, I suppose, because he's able to win 2 inside the actual point to get that scrap. And you'll have Florida going into Duke. They will take this lead, and honestly, send Awakening in first. Let him just kill everything in sight, and you get the break.
DJ, there's plenty of players down low. Over to Church we go. Lead change, Boston. TJ still trying to clean these players out. Dave Paddy brought down 3 now brought. As Boston still hold the line. Front Church is going to be where the hit comes from. Method's trying to watch that right flank for now, and that's a great kill. Here comes the flanks though, and it's going to be Vivid. Will he be able to find anything as we are in the business end of this hard point? TJ's got the back covered. You love to see that. The fight now on the inside of the Church. Awakening, what have you got? Will the crusade continue? No! TJ, a massive kill, and that could be the dagger.
There's 3 spawns in the back though, and you need to fight for this time. If you are Florida, you need this scrap. TJ taken down. Next one up, Nero can't find the kill. Taken down. The break might be in, but Cap is there to pick up 2. Still 2 players alive, and this scrap means a ton for both of these teams. He's taking the long route, he gets dropped, and at least the fight, you're able to break, you are still alive, but look at that rotation. 1v1 gunfights potentially. Number 4, number 7, who can get P5 control first?
They're desperately trying to get it done. This is Awakening fighting for mid-map. Zinni's done. Who's going to be up next as the explosives continue to find their way in mid-map, and it's Boston once again in the hard point. They've got P5. It's 10 seconds before we go to the next map. You've got to find something. There's Dave Paddy, Vivid, trying to cover him forward. We go. Big kills, the coverage, the hip fire. Sky's on a 5, and you just managed to stop it in the nick of time.
You took your time to set up that break. Dave wasn't challenging those gunfights early, but now you need that perfect hold. One break for Boston is all they need, but one they need to get. Facing elimination in these final moments.
Guys trying to keep it alive. Here comes the pinch, and it's Capsule. Has he been gifted the kills here? And he goes, finds it! Oh, baby! 1 kill was all it took, and now we've got a game 5.
A game 5. in the most absurd series of this year, in the most absurd hard point of this year. Nothing makes sense. The COD gods have gone to sleep, but they have gifted us in their slumber a Game 5. I mean, none of this makes sense, dude. Awakening, 37-13, 3,700 damage, took the L. Nero started out 7-0. He went negative, and they won.
This is, oh my. Everything you think you know, forget it.
How many kills did they just get outslayed by? 8, 11, math, 14. They got outslayed by 17 kills and won the game. Getting out-rotated, I start to finish, nothing makes sense. And now we go to, all right, whatever, Moss. Go to Desert Siege. That's what we got for the Game 5, man. Good God.
Well, look at this. What a series this has been. I mean, when Boston win it, they like to make it a little interesting. Let's be honest, mate. It's been wild. We have our scuffed play of the game. We're going to give this one to Nero because, hey, let's face it, he had one hell of a run to start things off. This is 4-0. And Chance, you called it, man. Opening break, the record he set for himself was 9. That was a screamer.
It's so wild, too, because, like, obviously, if it's that close of a game towards the end, it is a play like that that effectively gets them the win. Granted, they need 10 of those plays across the board, but it was so weird. They flip the spawns back and forth. They pick up the Glide to break P2. You could break that game down forever because it will never make sense to me, but I think Desert Siege to end it all.
Desert Siege on the other side of this break. If you've seen the series so far, you know it's crazy. You don't want to miss this.
Exhausted, I needed the energy, needed to pick me up. I'm in your movie, but this is my cinema. I got the power, I'm built to devour anyone coming against me at tower. I don't cave under pressure. Some of y'all leaving here in the stretcher. Took my time to go and get better. I was reading in the red letters. Ay, hit me with your best shot. I got time today. Feeling like a matador with that Red Bull. Oh no, you can't stop me. I'm running my own play. For the game win, I came to pin anything that gets in my way. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. in the game like EA. Been in my prime since pre-K. Shooting my shot from long range, going over heads a good toupee. Treat every day like payday. Y'all been living so mundane. My work week is Sunday to oh wait, that's every day. Putting in overtime, punching the clock, I'ma get what's mine. While everyone's sleeping, I'm living my dreams. I got a coin that's so divine. Lord, take the wheel like 10 and 2. I'm losing energy, I'm overdue. I've been on the top ropes, hitting my pros. Watch me hit the power move.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Here comes Game 5 as this series has surprised, delighted, bewildered, and now will deliver in what is going to be a very tense showdown on Desert Siege.
One of two things will happen on this map. One, it will be the most perfectly played by both teams, close contested, round 11, mistake-free game of Call of Duty you've ever seen. Option number 2, Awakening is going to drop 23 kills, and they will lose by like round 8. I think that's the only thing that can happen. It will be the only thing that makes sense because, oh my God, he might be going for the kill record so far this year for the combination of a series. I mean, 37 and 13, I think it was for the L, doing 32 and 20 on the Control. I have a bad memory, so who knows what happened for map 1, but if I had to take a guess, he was frying.
We have been taking moments across this series as Awakening has continued to disprove the laws of physics and reality and bend them to his will. Demon Joe truly is a man possessed, but now, one more map for these teams in this tournament. You lose, you go home. You win, you get a very good sleep, right? Chance to get a real good rest until you have to play next. But here we go. We're throwing it down in Desert Siege, final map of the series. Let's get it.
And this map is a mystery when it comes to these two teams, right? Florida played it once. They got bodied. 0.31 combined for the Team KD. Not ideal. Obviously, you go back to the drawing board after a performance like that. On the flip side for Boston, didn't see him on it throughout stage 1. It is unknown. Will TJ be sniping? May very well be the case. He can make an impact play. I know there's been some chatter about instead putting it away for the usual. Let him getting out there and make plays because TJ, S&D, it has always been his bread and butter mode. That's, of course, on the side of Boston, on the side of Florida. I mean, just set Awakening in and let him keep peace.
Automatons at the ready for TJ and Nero here. Waiting for the aggression, but Florida Mutineers, they have not been the aggressive team in this series whatsoever. Vivid, snipe in hand. Chance? Explain.
That is the only way to get him to not shell every single gunfight. You slow the man down, just give him the snipe, and nice little style. But by the way, the setup is actually super clean, right? Just because you got number 6 Skies, he's waiting for that push down those B steps, and even if the fight's over towards A, I mean, Awakening's here, Vivid is wrapped back, so Florida very prepared on defense for these fights. Vivid 0 for 1, but he does have the intel.
Statistically, the most accurate player in the league. That's with an MP40 mostly. Let's see what he can do with a snipe. Bomb's being pushed over towards B, though, here. Skies, he is in the perfect position to get this if they do commit. Oh my God, it was close. Less than 30 seconds to work with Detonate on the site. 6 HP. Cap's gonna get the bomb.
You gotta get this down before he gets sniped, right? They've been right back and he hit the snipe and he got the bomb planer. Now you gotta make a last ditch effort. Skies from up top, the trades are there. The snipe hasn't come through and Methods picks up defending his teammate. Gets both those kills and puts Boston in a 2 versus 1. But they gotta deal with Demon Joe.
2v1. Methods. Oh no. TJ, you're up next. Oh. Be still my beating heart. TJ leaves it all on the field as Awakening shows zero fear.
I mean, this is no disrespect to TJ. After watching Awakening's performance, I just thought he was going to get zapped away, to be quite frank. But the trades are in, the plays are there, right? Vivid makes things mixy, but Methods not only gets the player jumping over top, but also saves his boy from the snipe as well. So credit where credit is due. Then he goes big. That's just for round number 1. I will say, though, very well played round by both teams.
Hey, option 1 was not the more fun of the 2 options, Chance. Vivid's back at it with the snipes. We're slowly but surely waiting to find something. That was a shadow moved in the distance. Nero spotted for a brief second. Dave Paddy with the opener.
And that's such a big big pick as well from Dave. You get the clearance and Vivid knows that that light cross is saved. He misses once. He won't miss twice. Won't miss the 3rd time either. Vivid, as accurate as you want him, you get it, and now you get that bomb down Methods for the 1v3.
Here he comes. 1v2. Vivid, will he make it 3 this round? He's definitely seen the shuffle of ankles here as the defensive hold from Florida Mute is deep back. Zinni's going to go for it. Less than 30 on the clock. Uh-oh. Stuns. He's still looking at the bomb. He's got no idea. They're behind him.
A little bit strange, not gonna lie, especially when you're getting shot in the back. I understand he's looking for the second player, so Florida doing a nice job to wrap back towards the sniper for the bait, but at the same time, I was just expecting Ego Chow the sniper, hope he misses, and if you gun him, turn to the 1v1, but I mean, hey, Methods looks the wrong way. It's a 1v3, difficult spot anyway. 2 offensive wins. Boston had to work a little bit harder for theirs. But it's got to be said, I mean, very few players have really been high impact with the sniper. This has certainly been a map that's provided. Cap looking to be the guy on the flip side. If you're getting sniped real hard and Vivid's got 4, one of the only ways you can deal with it, go for the counter snipe.
Will live to snipe another day. Vivid making his way across with a snipe now for the other side. And again, a lot of respect being shown from Boston towards Florida, expecting the flank. Awakening. First blood. Skies gets involved as well now. Here comes the aggression.
How TJ gets up there, everything is confusing. Awakening though, able to stay alive. 4 versus 2. You got to make some sort of big play right now because Capsule very far away from the fight. He'd be lucky if Skies gives him the pick. That's not the case. Vivid continues the reign of terror with the snipe. And now Nero left by himself in the 1 versus 4. Nothing can happen in that round, suffocating from Florida. And right now it's Desert Siege. If you got the sniper on point, you simply just win. And Vivid has been a machine. Almost as, that was the one option I didn't think of. But both of your hyper-aggressive SMGs just pulling out the sniper. The only other thing for this series that could have made sense.
Well, it's the most nonsensical thing chance imaginable. What you at home can't see is he's shaking his head aggressively. Oh man, are we getting treated to a bit of fun.
It is sort of interesting though, right? You lose the SMG pressure, but at the same time, you at least get your AR players to keep the AR in hand for these long-range gunfights. So I'm not entirely mad at the idea. I just never would have guessed it.
It's a fun switch up.
He's gonna hit this.
He's gonna hit this. If Teach jump checks it,
man.
He's dead. Nice shots from Methods. TJ lands a nade, and Vivid's still here, waiting for something. TJ did jump that spot, but now it's going to be waiting now on the other side. Force Spree still there for Vivid with that snipe.
Oh, and this is going to win them the round, right? I mean, already the 4v2 is enough. The Capsule, I mean, so polite.
So
closing
polite.
the door, so gentle, and obviously the perfect flank. Vivid, he's going to be pre-aimed. He's going to be waiting for the sniper kill to come his way, but whenever Capsule wants, he can go on this flank, and it's looking like it should be free.
Yeah, you know, the gunshots in the background, that's going to be the signal to go, go, go. And you see the bomb making its way in towards A, and here comes Capsule. He's going to be behind that player in a moment. Dave Paddy. Oh, baby. 1v1 does manage to win it as Methods. Here comes the play from Capsule. No need. Stolen from him. But Boston take the round.
And once again, similar to round number 1, Methods simply just winning them that round, right? Not just for the fact that he gets that first pick, not just for the fact that he gets that final kill, but even there to help out TJ. And towards the top of the tower, I mean, we're what, 4 rounds deep right now. Methods, 7 kills to his name. Strong performance out of the captain.
That was an incredible round 1 again from him. The coverage on the bomb site player, managing to win the gunfights here, and they really need to. 2-2, all tied up. A couple of donuts there on breach. Capsule and Nero yet to really get involved in the fights, but they're doing their job again. Back at it with the old 2-man hit now towards mid. Breach, familiar looks. This is how they won that first round.
Exactly, right? Skies have switched up the spot just a little bit, but he's still going to be playing over towards this B site. And he's got the different angle. Makes a little bit of noise, and I think if you overcommit Vivid, he will just be staring at these B steps. There it is. Oh. We've seen him miss the first, but then he hits the next 3. That has been the rule.
Nice nade from TJ. Sand and explosives in his eyes. Bomb planter B. Oh dear, Sky's got the bomb coverage, takes care of the planter. Methods there with the trade through, coming on to Dave Paddy. Back at it, we go onto the bomb. Awakening trying to find some form of coverage here. Bomb will be planted at B, and here comes the fast wrap. Anyone here in time to get it? Awakening, he might just do it. He's going to do it. Is anyone going to be there to cover him? Here comes the play. Good stuff out of TJ. Vivid now bringing the snipe forward. 1 goes down. Vivid trying to keep it going. TJ's the last player left alive. Got to try to cover the bomb site. 30 seconds. TJ trying to find it. Vivid's got eyes on. Skies gets it done. suffocating.
And look, man, it might not have been Vivid that gets that final kill, but you see the pressure that the sniper puts on you when you are winning the sniper battle on this map. So difficult to play around, and TJ, simply just nothing for him to do. I mean, honestly, it was sort of impressive that Boston was able to get that bomb down at all. I thought for sure Vivid was going to hit the shot. I saw him miss a couple, at least on the mini-map. Whatever the case may be, Florida, nice little lead that they have. Try to run it up. I think, honestly, I mean, Cap and Nero, I don't know if they were able to get on board this round, but right now it's been nothing but the vets for them, and there you go, 0-8 for the Rooks.
Vivid.
Nice shots, and nice angle, too.
Once again from Methods. Those great tags. Capsule does get on the board, and that's a huge one for Boston Breach. Awakening will try to level things up. 3v2, Boston with the numbers.
Plenty of time to work with. You're not worried about getting flanked. Couple shots coming through, but I think Boston, honestly, maybe not ecstatic about letting this bomb get planted, but they certainly will not be mad at it, right? I think Methods should be able to spot out if they actually make this crossover towards Zay, but the pick is there. Sky's on a 4, makes this a 2 versus 2.
Oh, the defenders now making their way over towards that bomb site. The bomb, though, going all the way over towards B. It's a bit of a switch. Sky's just hurt. Gets out with his life. The bomb's going to be planted to B, and Boston Breach, they are going to be surprised by this one. They're scratching their chinny chin chins, but here come a couple of piggies, and Skies, the big, bad wolf, looking to gun him down! Man, what aggressive fist pump that was.
Skies and Methods, no strangers to each other when it comes down to the clutch in Search and Destroy. Skies gets the better of them there, and that is in spite of the fact that Methods finds the first bloods, in spite of the fact that Capsule there for the follow-up to get on board. Florida, icy in the 2 versus 3. Putting in work and picking them apart in those later moments. Elimination on the line. Florida clutching up. Skies, by the way, a kill off a glide, and a glide on this map. Let me tell you, devastating.
What a jump check that is. Capsule tagged up. We're teetering towards the B-bomb site. Vivid. And that sniper is making it all the way through the trenches. He will get an angle soon, and that angle is going to be devastating.
And I love the repositioning, too. I think Skies, well, he has the option to actually come back and watch the deep cross for Vivid, so he doesn't have to worry about his back. And whether or not that's the case, I mean, this B site, as far as defense goes, effectively on lock. But at least if Boston is forcing it over towards A, it'll be Dave, the player they need to worry about.
There we go, Dave. Your time to shine. Nero with a peek. Oh, wow, what a kill. The first blood. Made over the top. Awakening finds himself 1. Swift revenge. As Vivid brings himself in. Pistol trade comes through. 2v2, less than 30 seconds on the clock, and we're going to B. Skies with a fast read.
Yeah, you kill the sniper. You kill the sniper. You know that B is going to be open. You got to be quick about it. And you got to also watch so many things, right? Because the pinch is in.
Pinch is in. Here we go. Bomb planted. It could be Awakening with the Dead Silence play through the back. Oh, here's the pinch. Oh, my word. They were coming for them cheeks. Awakening finds 1. Capsule now in the 1v2. Has to defend the bomb. They've got no idea where he is. If he doesn't move, they can't see him. That's the rules, right? And Skies, he's got eyes on 1. Here comes the push. Awakening on the bomb. Capsule finds 1. Now it's a 1v1.
This is for the Glide Bomb, too.
Skies has got to get the kill. Oh, my word. He shoots the shot a little early. Capsule. 10 seconds. This is for the glide for Skies. And it's not going to happen. Boston Breach will win the round. The B-bomb site will go bye-bye. And it's 4-3. And okay, Skies, don't die, Skies. Don't die. You need that glide.
How the tables turn. Early on, it was the Rooks. 0-8 combined, Methods doing everything. Who couldn't clutch for Boston? It was the Vets. Who turns up there, doesn't give away the glide, clutches the 1v2. It is Capsule making the big brain plays. I mean, it is so delicate in that 1v2. You have to be hyper aware. People love hopping the bomb over towards B. Plays it like a stone.
We go back at it. No one with the snipes just yet. Oh, I take it back. Capsule, the hero of the last round. Now, the first to fall. Nero with the swift trade. There we go. Bomb making its way over towards A. Oh, Zinni runs out of bullets once again. The rat at range manages to hit at least one of those. It's a 3v3. Nades exchange, trying to flush Nero out of the foxhole towards the deepest recesses of the map, and here we go. Less than a minute to play with.
And keep in mind, we've seen Boston like struggle to play around the snipe, but they don't got to worry about the snipe anymore. That was the first blood, and Methods finds a pick from his perch. But a 2v3, dude, it's the exact same 2v3.
Is it happening again? TJ, dead silence. Now maneuvering around that B-bomb site, waiting for the play. Saw at least one set of feet. Will Awakening call it? Will he make the jump? Sky's up high. Shots are in. Methods does have the coverage at the back. Less than 25 seconds now to work with. And this looks great for Boston Breach. Surely at this moment in time, it's their round. And yes, it is. We're all tied up.
That 2v3, I can't remember if it was TJ or Nero, but that was almost the exact same setup. I mean, every player on the map almost in the exact same position. I mean, deja vu all over again, but we are tied up 4-4. Take a big breath. Calm those nerves. Vivid. I mean, he certainly had that early impact with the sniper, and he got a kill last round as well. So, yeah, keep it out. No big deal.
Oh, absolutely. He has hit. No need to acquit. 11-6 for Methods. He has been the absolute playmaker, the first blood machine here on Desert Siege. At range with the Automaton, no problem indeed. That's that classic two-man stack there we see from Boston Breach on offense, and they're going to wait for it. But Vivid, he's seen this play happen enough, and he's got a sense that it may be up again.
Our situation, right? It is Skies. Man, that will make that first move. It's him and Vivid working together on this B side, but TJ making a little bit of noise, but he is playing a dangerous game. I think he can feel that pressure. They're trying to lean towards A. Dave playing the perch in the back, watching over, a couple shots ran through. He's forced down. This might be the opening. Try to go to the site. You know where Awakening plays. TJ looking for him.
Oh my, and it's just a little figure through the sort of wooden slats. He's not going to find a single thing, but TJ, is he about to bite off more than he can chew? He could potentially eat the Mutineers alive right now. Oh boy, Vivid. Oh, no, no, no. Get out of there while you still can. The salvo of fire comes through. It's 46 HP. Methods once again finds that first blood. And here comes the pressure from Boston Breach, overwhelming the bomb site, planting the bomb. Here come the kills as well. Nero's going to get out. Oh, God, no, he won't. 3v3.
You need so much more, though. You're going to have to hit another snipe almost certainly. Sky's trying to make a play. He gets caught. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Vivid, you got the snipe. You got to go big.
Oh, it's a huge kill from Tej. Vivid now last up. 3 bullets is all he could need now with a snipe, and that is not enough. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
And I've lost track. Methods, I mean, 4, 5 first bloods he's able to get. These have been patient rounds. He has taken his time, and he is finding these openings for the team. Around 11 we had in game number 2. Only round 10 is where we're at now. Elimination on the line.
Match point, Boston. Can the Breach pull this one back? My man's out there slithering, having a good time, just bobbing and weaving out in the furthest recesses. Cap! Feeling very confident indeed, finds the first blood, immediate trades, planting towards B, and that's going to be Dave Paddy on that one fast. Here we go. Vivid! He gets brought down, and it's Methods once again. 4 kills now in a row for him. He's going to go towards that bomb site. Where is the coverage? It's Awakening in the back line, trying to find something here. Nero with that tight coverage. It is going to be City for the winning!
Could you ask for anything more? Methods in the game 5 delivers. 5 first bloods he is able to get. Diffuses when you need him to get them. You got Capsule turning up for a 1v2 clutch for the edge. And on top of that, the only reason Breach even got to the game 5, outslayed by 20, 25 kills, does not matter. They get the Tuscan win as well. It might not have been clean for the first 4 maps, but boy golly, did they turn up there in the game 5. Efficient work from the team. What a hell of a win and a hell of a performance from Methods, man. 13 kills, 5. That is correct in the data view. 5 first bloods. Putting on for his city.
He certainly did. Those first bloods were absolutely astonishing round after round. Kill on the Vivid, I mean, the snipe, we saw the glisten of the scope, we saw it, and it was then and there. He truly looked the devil in the eye and said, I'm gonna jump that bomb and I'm gonna defuse that shit. He sure did. There we go, baby. 6-4 here in the final map. Boston Breach, what a sensational and crazy series. None of that made any sense. Boy, are we entertained.
Dude, and I forgot about the round 1, by the way, where Method started off by gunning everybody in sight. I mean, a classic performance. I mean, you know, when him and Skies keep squaring off, it is just, I mean, a tale at this point as old as time, but you deal with the snipes. I mean, Capsule pulled it out for like a round to give the old college try, but they just did it with the pure gunning. Bold plays from Boston. And I'm so happy that game number 5 was lit, because it was so sloppy early on, but that was a wonderful performance, honestly, by both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, we do bid a very fond farewell to the Mutineers. They will be eliminated here at Major 1, and man, did they go down swinging. What a series that was. Kudos to Boston for the win. Mutineers, back to the drawing board. Again, there's a lot of promise here with the team. A lot's got to be tightened up, it has to be said, but hey man, looking at that maps and modes, boy, did we have a good time. Right, well, that is it from us. And there's only one player in the world we want to talk to now for our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Methods on stage with Clint.
Zinni, my guy. You hit me up, I don't know, what, 3 to 6 months ago, and you were going through like sort of that, do I come back to compete? Do I continue with the content creation? And I said, you're killing it. I think you could be an incredible streamer. Focus on that. And you said, I'm hungry, man. I still want to be on the main stage. Moments like that, why?
Straight! Yeah, I mean, when you want to compete, like, I can always go full-time content at some point, so right now it's competing. Yesterday I played like a hamster, so had to make up for it. Map 5 there, obviously FaZe is a tough draw, but Florida's a tough team. I mean, we're just so new, right? We're still trying to find our footing, 2 young guys, just really trying to gain that confidence, and that's a good way to start.
Well, I guess that's kind of a question, like what, with this young team, like what's been maybe the most difficult thing to get going, just with a bunch of youth around you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of frustration, right? Because I guess my mindset is not to treat them like rookies, right? We have a lot to play for, a lot of money, a lot riding on us, so I hold them accountable as they hold me, but it's frustrating just because 2 young guys, like, especially in the SMG role, they sort of dictate the game, and they've been killing it so far, but just like tiny little mistakes that we need to fix. Me and TJ as well, right? Like me and him obviously got benched nonstop, so I think we're all trying to find our footing.
Well, it was really, really fun to watch. I want to hear about the map 5. Like, you dominated. What, 13 on the board? Like, it feels like for me, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, sometimes when you start slow and search, it almost feels like the confidence isn't there as you go deeper. When you start hot, when you get a couple kills in the early rounds, like, you're just taking every fight and you're winning it.
They finally gave me an AR map, dude. I'm playing Bo Cage and Tuscan every series.
So that probably helped a little bit?
Yeah, that's my map.
Yeah, no, it was very impressive to watch, and I'm excited, man. Just the young players around you, see what you and TJ can do, and it's obviously a redemption story of sorts. If you had to choose between teaming with TJ Haley, though, for the near future and never eating any sort of Italian food again, what would you choose? Like chicken parm. Chicken parm or TJ, basically, is my question.
Nah, he's done. He's done. He's gone.
I figured as much. Hey, good luck going forward, buddy. Let's get it back over to the desk. Thank you, everybody.
I'm loving it right now. Game 5, the crowd woke up. Texas, and most importantly, Boston fans, y'all loving this event right now? Yeah. Hey, I had to try that right there.
You're just regaining composure.
No, but seriously, yo, when it comes to this matchup, it was everything that we wanted. We saw 2 3-0s, and then this happened. Finally went to a Game 5. But Nameless, when it came to the Game Fuel tactical play, though, the map closed out in the best way possible.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be that diffuse, right? Dude, Methods throughout that map was just playing so great. Dude, there were so many rounds where the Boston Breach looked extremely nervous. They were giving up map control. You could see they were losing confidence as Florida started to take over here, but Methods, every single time he came in clutch, he was sitting back broken, you know, just holding it down, trying to look for that sniper. He recognized the sniper was what was taking over the map, and he got a couple first bloods on the Vivid, which was huge. And then this is just a veteran play, right? Like, he knows the positioning. They're probably both going to be in front of him. He has his teammate there to look over him. He hops the bomb and he gets the defuse. It's classic timing, and that's something that you need out of a veteran player in a Game 5 situation like that. When things get tough, that is when they shine, right? We saw players like Accuracy do it for Seattle. Well, Methods had to do it for Boston Breach right there because there were multiple rounds where Nero threw his life away, where we saw Capsule throw his life away. Even though he had that crazy 1v2, there's a lot of mistakes that happened in that Game 5, so I'm just happy Methods was able to turn up for this.
I'm happy you brought up that point for the fact that Nero and both Capsule were 0-4.
It's tough, man. Game 5, main stage.
Yeah, that was scary. But Ali, the most important part is Boston, they were able to come back, and they put up a crazy streak to win, not just the last map, but even in Hardpoint.
I'm literally a cursed watcher. During that Hardpoint when they were about to lose, I was like, I can't watch. I just stopped watching. I just looked down, and I was listening to them cast over it, and suddenly the momentum totally flipped over to Boston Breach, and we head into that Game 5, and when I saw that Cap and Nero were both 0-4, I was like, I can't watch this, man. They're getting put in a blender by Vivid Sniper. I stopped watching, dude. Oh, let's just win 4 rounds in a row. So I'm not allowed to watch Boston Breach play anymore, but big shout out to Methods. I feel like there was a lot on his shoulders to step up for this team, and it really showed in that search and destroy. It was usually on Nero or TJ Holly to be that aggressive SMG and get those first bloods, and he really picked it up for them when they were slacking.
You're right. And speaking about Vivid, Jeremy, I heard you were nice with the sniper back in the days, man.
Yeah.
Vivid put on a clinic, man. It was a sniper diff in that map.
He was taking over the map early in these rounds, but the confidence of Methods to go out there and you see that glare on the opposite side of the map, you're just delusionally challenging. He was able to get a couple first bloods onto Vivid, which just shuts down the plays from Florida Mutineers. But the biggest thing that I took away from Boston in this series has to be the search and destroys. Before they came in this series, they lost their last 4 S&Ds. They were able to win the first one in a 6-5, and even though this one was a 6-4, they still have little mistakes that costed them a couple rounds. They should have been able to win this at least 6-2 or 6-3. That 4v2 situation where you have Nero, you have Cap, who are giving up their lives for free, you cannot allow that to happen because that's where the better teams are able to capitalize on.
And we got to talk about Florida, right? And Awakening, they were out slaying in that hard point by so much, and they still lost. Every player on Boston Breach was negative in that hard point, and we got to talk about this is an ongoing theme with Florida. They would outslay teams in Boat Cage, but still weren't able to pull out the win. They pulled out the win on Boat Cage in this series, but still, they gotta get somebody on that objective time. You can't go plus 20 and have only 20 seconds in objective.
Major shout out to the coaching staff of the Boston Breach. They had not played Desert Siege S&D going into this series, and that was a big gamble to take that, right? Like they're confident in their search and destroy play. They know they have playmakers on their team. They go into a Desert Siege where they really don't have a sniper player to go toe-to-toe with a player like Vivid who's popping off, and they still come out with the win. So good decision there.
Now, flipping the switch and talking about Florida for just a second, Ali, this has been the story for their whole year, right? They're so close to tasting victory, and even having a map lead, they were unable to hold on to it. What do you see for this team in the future?
They're a young team. I think they have so much more to go. Their ceiling is incredibly high. I feel like with both these teams, this was young guns against young guns. In Florida, they have a couple more kinks to work out, but still overall, it wasn't a slam out, right? So they're still a light at the end of the tunnel for this squad. They just got to get back to the lab.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, with Boston getting that big win, 3-2 over Florida. Coming up next, we're going to have Seattle Surge, who are trying to get good luck on their side. They're going to be facing off against Paris Legion, a team with nothing to lose and everything to win. We'll see you guys in a minute for some more CDL action.